I have a kind of singular project which is about liminal space, that kind of waking, dreaming gap. And so everything I depict is about that, really. And that's my quest, is to kind of find the perfect sort of transitional statement in what I do. And that's all of it is found in the natural world, mostly to do with water and sky and surface. Really, that's really what my paintings are about.
Rachael Bennett's a professional. She's had a good sound educational background, art and design. She is unlike other painters locally in Teignmouth.
I walk or run on the cliff path most days. I mean, for instance, today I was looking after my friend's dog. I walked from here to almost to Dawlish, all along the beach, and all of that just feeds me. So I come back and it's just in my kind of body, really. I mean, I can't imagine living anywhere else.
Most local artists paint what they see around them. Rachael tends to pick up on surfaces, and it's painting that painters like. So she's really interested in texture and materials. And it's that kind of influence of texture and materials that makes it so much more interesting and much more engaging and challenging as a piece of artwork, other than what you see is what you get.
It's the natural world, it's the natural landscape, and it's textures and atmosphere, really, I suppose, more than form. So it's about, for instance, going to the estuary and just listening to the sound of the birds and the mud popping and all those kind of things, and all of that feeds into the surfaces that I use for my work. It's just very simple, actually, very simple. I teach special needs kids, which again is quite interesting in that they're very, very complex needs, the kids I teach. It just all sort of feels like a real natural kind of process, really, just how I am. It's very uncomplicated. I've never really had any break, really, because I've always made art. I haven't actually thought about it as a journey, it's just what I do. And I think most artists would probably say the same. You know, I know artists who are kind of stuck in churning out stuff that galleries want or shops want or whatever it is, and it's very disheartening. I'm quite organised, you know, as you see around here, my workroom is very organised. Most artists' workroom is shambolic. I just can't work that way. I work on the floor, it's always really clean. I clean up, spend a lot of my time mopping up, and all the time I'm doing that I'm thinking about the next move. And when I'm walking and running, I'm thinking about what layer to add, what colour to add. So it's kind of almost like a kind of scientific-y experiment. It's quite interesting noticing people look at my work, because they sort of look at it and then they kind of look back and then they get absolutely hooked on it, because they can see it's actually quite complicated and intricate. Some people will just dismiss it and say, oh my God, you know, my 6-year-old could do that. And I've had a lot of people who cry and then they tell me stories about why.
I particularly like Rachael's work because it's very different from the other types of work we have in the gallery. We have a few artists who deal with surface, but Rachael deals with surface on a much larger scale, which works. They're almost like on a one-to-one scale, so although they do describe landscape in some respect, it's also about things being kind of real on the canvas, and that's why I really like her work. And also the rest of the work we have in the gallery is quite realistic, quite descriptive, whereas hers perhaps leaves a little more up to the imagination.